Welcome to Rooted Insights, a podcast for women in their second season of life who spent years caring for everyone else: kids, partners, work, households, holding it all together while quietly putting your own needs on the back burner. If you now find yourself wondering, what's next for me? What do I really want from my life now? And how do I start prioritizing myself without dropping everything else? You're in the right place. I'm Dr. Kelley, a health and well-being specialist and a mind-body expert who's passionate about blending grounded, science-informed practices into everyday life so we can better support our hardworking nervous systems, our emotional well-being, and step more fully into our authentic selves as we journey into our second season of life, whenever that time begins for you. This is about remembering who you really are and how to live with more fun, wonder, and personal fulfillment. Today, in our very first episode of Rooted Insights, we're talking about something that quietly shapes everything in your daily life: your nervous system. I'll break down what your nervous system actually is in simple language and why so many of us feel constantly on edge, anxious, or just plain exhausted, and why our systems feel so overloaded right now. I'll also share small, practical ways to support nervous system regulation with more kindness and awareness, so you can start to feel a bit more settled, grounded, and at home in your own body again, no matter what's going on around you. So let's get into some rooted insights about the nervous system and you. If you're the one others constantly rely on or expect to just take care of things, even the things no one sees or asks you to do, while you consistently feel exhausted throughout the day, but you can't switch off, like your body is stuck in on mode even when you're wiped out, you are not alone. Many women in this season of life are carrying a nervous system that's been in survival mode for years, juggling family, work, caregiving, and all the invisible emotional labor in between. In this episode, I want to help you understand what's actually happening inside your body and why supporting your nervous system is one of the most powerful things you can do for your health, your relationships, your energy, and your unique sense of self. Personally, I have a very overactive mind, and I've learned that when I don't tend to my nervous system throughout the day, nothing of real substance gets done. By the end of the day, I'm both wired and tired, and even if nothing big happened, it still feels hard to fully relax. I'm also not someone who wants to spend hours trying to regulate myself, so I've researched, tested, and refined simple nervous system reset tools that I keep adapting to fit a busy, constantly changing real life schedule, and that take very little time but have a big impact. We're going to keep all of this gentle and practical. I'm not here to add one more should to your to-do list. I'm here to offer small, real-world shifts that help your nervous system feel a little safer, a little more grounded, and a little more like home, especially if you've been living with chronic stress, anxiety, or quiet burnout for years. So when we talk about your nervous system, what we're really talking about is the part of you that automatically responds to life. You don't choose your heart rate. You don't choose to sweat when you're anxious. You don't choose that knot in your stomach before a hard conversation. It just happens. From a mind-body perspective, your nervous system is your body's communication network. It's constantly scanning your surroundings for danger or safety, real or perceived, and adjusting things like heart rate, breathing, digestion, muscle tension, stress responses, sleep cycles, and even how clearly you think, mostly without you being consciously aware of it. So you can imagine two main modes, using a vehicle as an analogy. So there's the accelerator. That's your stress response, often called fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, and this is driven by the sympathetic nervous system. It speeds things up, like your heart rate, stress hormones, mental alertness, and muscle tension. That's so you can respond to demands or threats. Then you have the brake. That's your rest and digest response. It's part of the parasympathetic nervous system. It slows things way down, like your heart rate, your breathing, your tension levels, and it helps you recover, repair, and actually feel safe and connected again. So in a balanced internal system, You automatically move between these two states throughout the day: activation when needed, and then genuine rest when the moment has passed. But when stress is chronic, as in constant, little reprieve, and this is emotional, physical, or both, your body can get stuck with the accelerator pressed down. And to be honest, most of us haven't had enough break time. So our systems start interpreting emails, text messages, family tension, unexpected conversations or situations, and news headlines as if they pose a real imminent danger. That's how we end up feeling constantly on edge, anxious, stuck, or burned out, even when nothing huge is happening in the moment. So when your life has been full of caregiving, responsibilities, and constant stimulation for years, your system can get stuck in chronic stress mode and really struggle to come back to a calm baseline state. It's not that you're weak or doing something wrong, it's that your body has been doing its job a little too well for a little too long. And for many women, that stress isn't about one big dramatic event. It's years of being the one who remembers, the one who cares, the one who organizes and holds everything together. Your nervous system doesn't know the difference between a lion chasing you and an overflowing inbox, or a tense conversation, or that constant, I'll just push through energy. It only really knows one main question: are we safe or not? If you notice yourself snapping, shutting down, or people pleasing to keep the peace, that's not you failing. That's your nervous system trying to protect you in the ways it learned long ago. And there's so much beauty and tenderness in that. And my invitation is to meet it with compassion rather than more self criticism and judgment. So before we go any further, I'd love to invite you into a quick check in with your own body. If it's safe to do so, you can gently soften your gaze or close your eyes. Start at your jaw and just notice, is it clenched or gripping? Then move your attention down to your shoulders and notice, are they lifted, rounded forward, feeling tense? Then notice your chest. Does it feel tight, expanded, or heavy? And then move to your belly. Is it braced and pulled in, or is there a softness there at all? And then what about your breathing? Is it shallow, regulated, or are you actually holding your breath? You don't need to change anything yet. I just want you to notice. Sometimes simply noticing, oh, hey, my jaw is tight and my shoulders are glued to my ears, is your nervous system saying, hey there, I've been on guard for a while. It may be time to relax now. For me, living here in California, I notice such a difference in my body when I've had a few minutes of ocean air, the morning light on my face, sitting outside just listening to the birds, or even just a walk in my neighborhood, compared to when I've been stuck inside or spending way too much time staring at a screen and in constant go mode or do mode. You'll have your own version of this: a place, a time of day, or a small ritual where your body quietly says, thank you, I can breathe again. And if you don't yet, keep listening, because this episode is definitely for you. So when your nervous system has been in survival mode for a long time, it often shows up in two main ways. One is called hyperarousal. That's that classic fight or flight state where it's always on edge, bracing for the next problem. You have trouble sleeping because your mind won't shut off. There can be irritability, anxiety, or big reactions to small things. Be tight muscles, a racing heart, or feeling rushed even when there's no real urgency. And the other is hypoarousal. That's more of a freeze or fawn state. It's numbness or burnout, feeling disconnected or apathetic. Could be chronic fatigue that sleep doesn't fix, like waking up tired even after a full night's rest. It's over accommodating others to avoid conflict. Hi there, people pleasing. And it's feeling paralyzed by decisions, even small ones. So when I say nervous system dysregulation, I mean your body gets stuck in these survival patterns and can't reliably come back to a steady, grounded, regulated state on its own. The hopeful piece is that you don't need complicated routines to begin supporting your nervous system. Small, body-based practices can make a real difference over time. One of my favorites is simply observing and internally naming what's happening without judgment. So in a stressful moment, you might say to yourself, "Ooh, that was a short-tempered response. My nervous system seems activated right now." Or my chest or shoulders are feeling a little tight. Or wow, I'm holding my breath. That bit of language helps you and your body remember that this is just a temporary state and not your forever identity. And from there, then you can try a 1 minute grounding reset anywhere, anytime. You can do this by feeling your feet on the floor, sit up straight, or stand if it's more comfortable. You want to start by pressing your hands together or gently hold your own arms like you're giving yourself a gentle hug. Then you're just going to take 3 slow, gentle, deep belly breaths, letting your exhale be slightly longer than your inhale. So you're going to inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth if it's comfortable. But remember, the goal is ease, not perfection, and always listening to your body. So as you breathe, you want to let your belly gently rise on the inhale and soften on the exhale. Sort of like you're inflating and deflating a balloon in your lower ribs and abdomen. You might imagine yourself gently and deeply inhaling peace and calm, and then exhaling like you mean it, like really releasing that built-up tension and stress, and letting your exhale carry some of that intensity out of your body. And then just do this a few times and notice even a small shift. Your shoulders drop, your jaw unclenches, and your breath softens. If you notice you're feeling the need to quickly calm your nervous system and you're somewhere it's not possible or comfortable in the moment to do any specific breathing pattern, then you can simply place one hand on your heart and the other on your belly and take a few natural breaths. And also, if you're able, you can press your feet more firmly into the floor as you exhale slowly, which will also offer you a quick reset and nervous system release. By doing any of these, you're sending a physical signal of safety to your system and supporting nervous system regulation and helping your body remember how to come back toward a more grounded state of calm. The more you practice this, the quicker your body resets itself. The first few times you try this, it's completely normal for your mind to question it or push back a little. That's just because the mind prefers what is familiar and what it knows, and not necessarily what's in the best interest of your body. So in a moment, I'll walk you through 3 simple go-to nervous system supports I return to again and again. A slower, softer breath, a somatic body check-in, and a brief pause moment you can use in the middle of real life. Research shows that chronic stress and nervous system dysregulation affect almost every area of health. Hormones, immunity, digestion, mood, sleep, and even pain. For women especially, ongoing stress and high cortisol have been linked with perimenopause and menopause symptoms, blood sugar and thyroid challenges, and cycle changes if you're still having them, as well as increased anxiety and depression. Regulating your nervous system isn't a luxury. It's a foundation for a healthier, happier life, period. When your body feels safer and more regulated, it becomes so much easier to think clearly and make decisions, to set and hold healthy boundaries, and to listen to your intuition, that inner part of you that we all carry and possess that knows what is right and true for you. It helps you be present with people you love and actually heal instead of just cope. In my mind, body, and awareness work, I often see that the body speaks louder when a deeper part of you is ready for a different way of living, especially in this middle, sort of unknown season of life. A dysregulated nervous system can be a messenger, a sign that the pace, patterns, or people pleasing that once helped you survive are no longer aligned with where you're meant to go next. Supporting your nervous system is one powerful way of saying to your body, "Hey, I'm listening. I'm willing to live differently now. So show me the next step. And let's work together from here on out." So before we wrap up, I want to leave you with 3 simple, science-supported ways you can start supporting your nervous system this week. Think of these as your core tools. Then we'll add a couple of bonus practices you can play around with as well. Our first protocol is a slow, diaphragmatic breath with a slightly longer exhale. So as you breathe, you're going to let your belly gently rise on the inhale and soften on the exhale. Sort of think of it like a small balloon in your lower ribs and abdomen. Inhale naturally through your nose, then exhale just a bit longer than you inhaled and preferably out through your mouth. Maybe use a count of 4 breaths in and 6 breaths out, or 4 breaths in and 8 breaths out. Then repeat a few times. You could work up to a cyclic sine breath pattern with this one, where you take one full inhale and then a small top up inhale, then the long sine exhale. This cyclic sine pattern has emerging evidence that it can provide a fast state shift and mood benefits, so give it a try. The slightly longer exhales actually help activate your parasympathetic rest and digest system and sends a "you're safe enough right now" message to your body. And if you want just one in your back pocket reset, then just let it be a slow breath where your exhale is just slightly longer than your inhale. The second protocol is a pause moment using the box breath. If you like a bit more structure, you can try what I teach in my courses for high school teachers and their students. It's called pause moment using the box breath method. So you're simply going to envision a box with equal sides and use the same breath count for each side as you trace the entirety of the box, either in your mind or gently with your fingers on your thighs. So you're going to breathe in for 5 as you go up one side of the box, hold for 5, going across the top of the box, then you breathe out for 5 down the other side of the box, and hold for 5 on the bottom of the box. And you're going to repeat this way of breathing 3 to 5 times. Ideally, you want to use your nose for both the inhale and the exhale in this exercise, if that feels comfortable, and go at a pace that works for you and your body. Now, for some with high anxiety or trauma history, the holds in box breathing can feel uncomfortable at first. So if you find that the breath holds feel edgy or uncomfortable, you can just skip the holds and let your exhale be a little longer than your inhale. Remember, the goal is ease, not forcing or perfection. Our third protocol is a 30 to 60-second somatic body check-in. So at least once a day, I want you to pause and just notice 3 body sensations and silently name them. Be warm, tight, buzzing, aching. And you want to do this without needing to fix anything. You're just noticing. This is you giving your brain evidence that you're here right now and you're safe enough in this moment. Just naming what you feel gently shifts your attention from "what's wrong with me" to "what's happening within me." And that state of curiosity can be surprisingly regulating. And so have fun with it. Speak to your body like it's your best friend, because it is. Think of your body as your longest friend who's been with you your entire life, but you may have lost touch with her. Reestablish that bond and connection by having regular check-ins and little chats throughout the day. Frame it as something you get to do, not something you have to do. This is a fun practice to integrate into your daily life and an important one. That's why we're going to have an entire upcoming episode dedicated to developing greater body awareness, comfort, and clarity for improved physical and emotional health and well-being. And if you want a couple of gentle bonus practices to layer in as you go, you might try taking a tiny micropause when you move from one role or task to another. So before you answer a text, start dinner, open your email, or get out of bed, you're just going to take one slow in and out breath. Really relax your body and let your eyes gently scan the room and find 3 things you can see or hear. Then you can soften your gaze or close your eyes and just give yourself a brief mental pause. Some people may know this as a version of the 5-4-3-2-1 style of grounding that just reinforces safety through the senses. Brief, repeated grounding, like your feet on the floor, taking a breath, or orienting yourself to the room, is how many somatic and trauma-informed practitioners teach nervous system regulation to high-achieving, overstressed women. Frequent, tiny resets instead of one big session. These tiny breaks really help your nervous system stop feeling like it's in one long, endless sprint and begin to experience your day as a series of distinct moments. Or if you're somewhere you can't move much, just try gently tapping the side of one hand with the fingertips of the other as you breathe slowly in and out until you notice even just a tiny shift in the body. You don't have to do all of these things. Even choosing just one and trying it for a few days or weeks is a powerful way of saying to your nervous system, I'm here with you now. We don't have to do this on sheer adrenaline anymore. So as we close, you might gently ask yourself, where's my nervous system asking for support right now? What's one tiny doable thing I'm willing to try this week to help my body feel even 5% safer? If you're not sure where to start, choose just one of the 3 core tools from today. A slower, longer exhale, 30-second somatic body check-in, or a short pause moment with the box breath. And let that be your nervous system experiment for the week. You might even experiment with something like media-free Mondays, a day where you step away from the news and social media cycle. No Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, email scrolling, or a refresh button checking. Just give your nervous system a one-day break from input that's designed to hijack your attention, and notice how you feel in your body at both the beginning and the end of the day. The world will still be there tomorrow, but what changes is the way your body gets to experience today. You can replace your scroll or news time with 3 slow breaths every time you feel yourself reaching for your phone out of habit, or one 60-second body check-in every time you go to the bathroom, or moving a little more slowly and purposefully throughout one part of your day. Let it be small, kind, and realistic for the powerful new season you're in. Think of it as building a relationship with your body again, one tiny moment of attention at a time. And if you remember nothing else from this episode, let it be this. Your nervous system is not the enemy, and you are not too much or not enough because you feel wired, exhausted, or overwhelmed. Your body is doing exactly what it learned to do to keep you going in a life where you've held so much for so many. Now, the second season of life is your invitation to teach it something new. Safety, softness, and support that includes you. Thank you for sharing this first rooted insight with me. If something stirred in you today, an emotion, a wow moment, or a new question for yourself, trust that is your body's way of communicating with you. You don't have to overhaul your life. You just have to respond to that whisper with one small next step. And if this conversation helped you feel a little more seen, I'd love for you to keep walking with me. Follow, like, or subscribe to the show. And if you feel supportive, leave a 5-star rating, a positive review, or a thoughtful share about how you support your own nervous system, or something from this episode you're going to try this week. Then pass this episode along to a friend who's also carrying a lot, craving more honest, grounded conversations about nervous system health in this amazingly powerful middle season of life. Remember, you're not behind. You're in a new season of your life, and your nervous system has carried you this far. You're allowed to support it now, and you don't have to do it alone. I'm here, rooting in with you, one conversation, one breath, one choice, and one rooted insight at a time. Thanks so much for being here. See you on our next episode.